change his position.
Sometimes do you wonder if he's getting enough?
Yeah. You never know. You can't measure it. You can only tell by how content he is.
Yeah. He may take a break between the breasts, and he may doze off for a while, and then you'll see that by doing some of these things, he'll wake up a little bit more and be ready to take the next breast.
Just on his own, meaning that's his style.
That
like
may be
you say.
his style,
Wake up.
yes.
Okay.
And
See,
as
there
you
we
get to
go.
know him over the days, you've only been with him now a couple of days, so it's
Come on, honey.
a process of getting to know one another better. And just like many of the other things that we've talked about, he'll begin to show you the things that he needs during his feedings, when he needs to be awakened and when he needs to shift to the next breast.
Waking up.
Now, what is he telling you now?
He's telling me he's starting to wake up a little bit.
A lot the concern of over not crying, although we laugh about it. You know, it sounds good to get good night's sleep, but you know, it seems to be the one way babies communicate a lot is through crying. And if she doesn't cry so much, how will we know?
Usually you picture newborns, flailing their arms and being, I don't know, in more of a state of undress, but for him, he's been bundled the whole time because
Yes.
we found out that's what he prefers. If we want to get him to cry, we undo his swaddling, and he cries every time. It's something that we discovered right away, and it's something that we use when it's feeding time or to control his behavior.
He loves to hear me sing to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever he starts, to want to cry a little bit, I'll sing to him and rock him, and he opens his eyes and stuff, and he looks at me like, "Why are you singing? Stop torturing me."
I thought I would have trouble interpreting his vocalizations and his behavior, but it's really pretty obvious.
Most of the time when he cries is because he's hungry. He doesn't cry because he's wet or has a dirty diaper or anything. He cries a little when he's sleepy, but most of the time if he cries it's because he's hungry.
This is really great to see everybody back again and to have all the babies here. This is really exciting.
I've learned past 4 weeks how to handle it right, I guess. And you also learn, the behavior of your baby and what makes him more comfortable or what makes him more secure. And I guess you get to know him pretty good.
There you go. See?
Hi. Hi, honey. I'm hungry.
This is over. Feed me.
They went away.
Huh? Oh, sure. Yeah, we're sharing.
We were fixing dinner and everything.
The happy times are there, the exciting times are there. When he gives me a little smile, it's very, very exciting. So exciting, I feel like I just can't hug him enough or kiss him enough to show him how much I love him. But there's also the frustrating times that I'm more shocked about, because when he cries, and it's kind of a gut-wrenching cry, and I can't make it better, it's upsetting to me, and then I cry. Sometimes he just needs to cry, and there's nothing that you can do that will make him feel better, and that makes me feel better, because I would like to think that I can do it, but if there's no way that I can make it better, then he's just got to work it out on his own.
She's a pretty good baby as long as she's not dirty, and as long as she's not hungry. Or she has to take a bath. She has to take a bath, then she hates it. She hates it. Now she'll get quiet when she gets her hair washed, okay? But when she has to get in the water, oh no, she will. It got to the point where we just had to just get used to her hollering when it's time for her to take a bath. Because
since we've been
that's what she's
home,
gonna do.
I guess we've learned her needs, okay, when she needs, and what she needs, and how to fulfill those needs. She's always liked to be rocked, and we noticed this through trial and error, and I guess once you get something that works, okay, you tend to stick with it, and maybe you might modify or see if she likes to be bounced and rocked or patted on the back and rocked. You look for things to assist you.
Every day is a new experience, and every day is more and more joy and satisfaction and love, a lot of love.
Well, I found out there's more to life than just golf and fishing and the other things I really love to do. I found out that I could generate some of that love right here.
Every day, understanding your baby becomes easier. Each experience adds to your knowledge. Your confidence increases. Gradually, as you learn to listen to your baby's messages, your caregiving decisions become easier too. Soon, it'll feel like you've known each other forever.
Parents go through a whole range of emotions during the first days after their baby's birth. Those first moments, that unbelievable magic of falling in love, of holding their baby for the first time, is followed by late night feedings, colic every night, diaper changes, all the routines of learning how to care for a newborn. In fact, you learn more from your mistakes than you do from success. But by understanding a baby's needs, by understanding how he responds to you, what he's trying to say to you, all of that teaches you how to be a parent. With the support of everyone, family, friends, professionals, parents can learn how to interpret their baby's messages. But it takes time. There may be turmoils and frustrations, but the rewards are great. Cuddling him, getting him to look up in your eyes, getting him to talk to you, and then maybe the first smile.
Preparing for your baby's arrival will help you feel more confident as a parent, but you'll still probably have questions. Be open. Talk with your baby's doctor and nurse about any concerns you may have about your baby's health. Getting ready also means making decisions about feeding. Nutrition is the foundation for growth and development, and never will your baby develop more rapidly than during the first year. You've decided to formula feed. By feeding the right infant formula, you can be sure you'll be providing good nutrition for your baby. But there are a variety of different ones available. Some are designed for normal, full-term infants, others for infants born prematurely. Still others are for infants with allergies or intolerances to specific nutrients. Choosing the right infant formula can be confusing. It has to be right for your infant. Always talk to your doctor before changing formulas. Trust your baby's doctor to help you make the right decision, and continue feeding the infant formula your doctor recommends during the entire first year. It will provide a constant and reliable source of nutrition throughout this important period of growth.
For your convenience, most infant formulas come in 3 forms: ready-to-feed liquid, powder, and concentrated liquid. While they differ, it's important that you prepare each correctly. Ready-to-feed infant formula does not require adding water. Powder form must be mixed with water. For this formula, 1 scoop of powder for every 2 ounces of water. Concentrated infant formula is a liquid form that also must be diluted. All carry this special symbol as a reminder to add water before feeding. For this formula, 1 part concentrated liquid to 1 part water. Dilution for other formulas may differ. Always read the label before mixing.
Our next program to formula feed your baby covers a variety of subjects: preparing infant formulas properly, the first feeding, bottles and nipples, feeding patterns, useful information to help you formula feed successfully.
you can be confident that your decision to feed an infant formula assures your baby is receiving proper nutrition for healthy growth. These first feedings are more of an education for you and your baby in getting used to feeding formula and being fed from a bottle. Don't worry if your baby does not feed well at first. A full-term infant has enough nutrients stored in the body to provide nourishment during the early days after birth. Newborns normally do lose a little weight during this time and may not regain their birth weight for a week or so. Although babies differ, most newborns seem to want small 2 to 3 ounce feedings every 3 to 4 hours around the clock.
Stafford, how are you doing? How's Michael doing?
Oh, he's just fine too.
Okay, I think it's time for his feeding.
Feeding time provides an opportunity to foster that special relationship between you and your baby, a feeling of closeness, loving, caring. You will want to start feeding your baby as soon as the medical staff says it's all right. Feeding will be easier and more pleasant if you are relaxed and alert to your baby's needs. Make sure your baby is awake enough to feed.
Ready to eat. Wake up, Michael. Is it time to wake up?
Talking, rubbing, patting, all will help wake the baby and give you both time to get used to each other.
Now you're awake. Huh. Come on.
If your baby is wrapped in a blanket, you might want to loosen the blanket or take it off to help wake the baby. Sitting comfortably, whether in a bed or in a chair, support your baby's head in the bend of your arm. A few pillows under your arm will give added support. Make sure the baby's head is raised slightly. Gently touch the nipple of the bottle to the cheek nearest you. Usually the baby's head will turn with an opened mouth to seek the nipple. This is sometimes called the rooting reflex. You may need to pull your baby's chin down to get his tongue down. Then insert the nipple well into his mouth, making sure the baby's lips form an airtight seal around the nipple. The natural sucking reflex will take over. Moving the nipple around his mouth to let him taste the formula may help start the sucking during the first few feedings. The bottle should always be tilted so the nipple is completely filled with formula. This prevents the baby from taking in too much air. Your baby might push the nipple out of his mouth by pushing the tongue forward. If this happens, put the nipple back in your baby's mouth to let him try again.
That's a good boy. That's a good boy.
How's he doing, Mrs. Stafford?
I think he's just about had enough.
About halfway through the bottle, and again at the end of each feeding, try to burp your baby to help remove swallowed air from the stomach. One way is to hold your baby upright against your shoulder. Gently pat or rub his back. You can also hold your baby in the sitting position, supporting his head and chest with your hands, or lay his face down across your lap and again pat his back.
Are you too sleepy to burp for me?
Some babies may take a while to burp or may not need to burp, so be patient and don't insist if your baby doesn't burp readily. If he falls asleep without burping, lay him down on his side or stomach.
Good baby, huh? You're so sleepy. Good boy.
At home, you will want to use the type of formula recommended by your healthcare professional. Formulas come in different forms. You do not add water to ready-to-feed formula. Both concentrated liquid and powder must be mixed with water before feeding.
Hi, Janice. The cat is asleep. Good.
Be sure to follow the instructions on the label for the form of formula you are using. There may be drawings as well as printed directions to illustrate